Hey, what's up guys, this is Cypher Slacker, and this is my Gladiator Beast combo video. I've got 3 combos I want to show you. The very first one is YuGiOh plus Adderix, and this is going to be our most explosive end board with just these 2 cards and then 3 blanks. Those could be hand traps, those could be board breakers, those could be 3 Andals, it doesn't matter. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to reveal YuGiOh to our opponent, special him, and then another Glad Beast from hand. We're going to go Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, and the reason that we're doing that is this card mills, and then the monster that it mills, it copies the level. So we're going to go ahead and send the Vespasius. This becomes level 7, and then this card is going to search a copy of Gladiator Beast Comeback. We're going to activate the comeback. We're going to special out the Vespasius. Comeback is going to go to grave. We're going to go ahead and take these 2, and remember that these go back to the deck. This is Contact Fusion. This is not a link. This is not something where these go to grave. I have seen plenty of Yu-Gi tubers who are not putting their Glad Beast material back in the deck when they fusion summon, and it's giving them more material in graveyard to make Claudius, which is a misplay. So these go back to the deck. Please remember that. And we're going to summon out our copy of Tamer Editor. And if my opponent has not hand trapped me yet, we're going to go Tamer Editor and special out a copy of Dominatanius. The reason I say if they haven't hand trapped me yet, it's too late. I'm now insulated. So I'm going to summon out the copy of Dominatanius, and then I'm going to take these 2, and one more thing. This card cannot be used as fusion material. Remember that. So I'm going to take these 2. We're going to link away into a copy of Test Panther. On summon, Test Panther is going to go ahead and grab the Flavian Coliseum of the Gladiator Beast. We're going to activate it by discarding one of our blanks. And then we're going to add literally any Glad Beast. We're going to normal summon it. As long as it can be any Glad Beast that could be normal summoned, that's all you got to do. Normal summon out a Glad Beast. And then you're going to go Test Panther to target it. Send it back to deck. Now we're going to bring out the Equest. Equest will now grab our Gladiator Beast comeback from the graveyard. And we're going to activate it. Now, we currently do not have any Beast Warriors on the field. That means we are free to summon this, because if you read this card closely, you can only summon things with a different type. So we're going to special this out. We're going to use his effect to get out another Dominatanius. So now my opponent is going to have a really bad time trying to nuke my board if they've been holding that all-important Nibiru. That's going to go to grave. And then what we're going to do next is we are going to link away into a copy of Darius. So we're going to take the Test Panther and the Equest. We're going to make Darius. Darius will summon Equest again, and we're going to get the Gladiator Beast comeback. We're going to take the Darius and the Tamer Editor, and we're going to link away into a copy of the Dragasius. That's why we play this card. It's just kind of like a pivot link, I guess you could call it. So we're going to get out into the Dragasius. We're going to go Gladiator Beast comeback to get our Tamer Editor back. Our Tamer Editor is going to special out Heraklinos. So we now have, at this point, 2 monster negates, 2 spell and trap negates, because we have 2 cards in our hand. That's going to go to grave. You're going to take the Equest and the Tamer Editor, and you're going to make a Darius, and then you're going to take Dragasius and Darius. And now, if you are playing a less pure Glad Beast build, this can be SP Little Knight. This right here can be Shureg, the Tri-Brigade monster. This could be, I mean, Appaloosa doesn't exist anymore, but, you know, the point is this could be any Link monster. But since I'm playing pure, I want it to be Darius. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my graveyard. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Glad Beasts. These are all going to get shuffled back into my deck. And we're going to make a copy of the Claudius. So I summon out the Claudius. We've got 2 monster negates, 2 spell and trap negates, Claudius's effect. And then in the end phase, we're going to activate the effect of the Flavian Coliseum to pick one of the 2 traps. We're either going to pick the Gladiator Beast Charge or the War Chariot. It really depends on what your opponent is playing. If you know your opponent has a monster-heavy deck, it might be smarter to go for the War Chariot. If you know your opponent has an explosive deck that is just going to, vomit things up onto the board, you've got Gladiator Beast Charge. But you've also got Claudius's effect during your opponent's turn when they activate a monster effect to summon out Gazeres. Remember, in order for his effect to go through, you can't use Dominataneous to negate your opponent's monster effect. So you have to allow one of your opponent's monster effects to go through. And then, because of the way that Gazeres works, is this can miss timing, you want to activate this card after the resolution of the effect. So this will effectively be Chain Link 1. This will come out and get 2 pops. That's the first combo, guys. The second combo is pretty similar. It is simply a, what's his name, Gistel plus any Glad. So it does work a little bit differently, and it is a little bit more susceptible. So I'm actually going to go, I'm going to go Gistel and Bestiary, just kind of show this off. Reveal, special, special. Now, interestingly enough, Bestiary is a mandatory effect. So when this comes out, this has to activate. So if you happen to have, if you use Flavian to search Gistel, you're kind of screwed because this is going to pop the Flavian arena, which sucks. And that's kind of why I was playing Marmillo in this deck, but the odd chance that I would see only Gistel and Marmillo would pop the Gistel and I would just scoop. So I cut that card for that reason. But we're going to go ahead and Bestiary is going to summon out, and then Gistel is going to summon out. Now we have yet to normal summon. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a copy of, and it kind of really just depends on, I guess, your play style or like you, the player. But we need to get the Glad Beast come back into the rotation. So I'm actually going to search this first and then search Flavian later. I don't think it matters, but we'll see here. So I'm going to take these two. We're going to link away, and we're linking so those can go to the grave. We're going to summon out the Test Panther. Test Panther on summon is going to get the Flavian. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I would rather have the Gladiator Beast come back in hand if we were to get drolled. So, for example, if you use Gistel and you search Gladiator Beast comeback, you have that in hand, you get drolled. You don't get the Flavian, but you can still do, like, you have this in circulation. So this is much better, I think, to search that first and then search the Flavian after, you know, you're not going to get drolled, because there's really not much searching after that. But what you're going to do is you're going to go Gladiator Beast comeback, special one of these up. That's going to go to grave. You're going to go ahead and go Flavian Arena, and you're going to pitch one. After you do that, you're going to specifically add to your hand the Noxious, and you'll see why in a moment. You'll go Test Panther, return that to deck. You're going to actually summon out the Augustus at this point, which is why I run him at 1. So you special the Augustus, you special the Noxious, and then the Noxious is going to go ahead and send us an Equest from deck to grave. So you send the Equest, and now we are good to fuse. Send those back to the deck. We're going to make our Tamer Editor. Tamer Editor is obviously going to make a copy of Dom, because you want to insulate as quick as possible. And then you're going to take Test and Tamer, and you're going to make Darios. Darios is going to go ahead and recover the Equest. Equest is going to activate and get the comeback. Now, since you have a Beast Warrior you have to clear, you're going to go Equest and Darios, and you're going to make a copy of the Dragacies. You're going to go comeback. You're going to summon out the Tamer Editor. Tamer Editor this time is actually going to get the Heraclinos, because we're going to summon the second Dom off of our Claudius. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and we're going to make another copy of the Darios. And then we're going to look at our graveyard and see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to shuffle these back into the deck, and we're going to summon out our main man, Claudius. So we summon out the Claudius. In the end phase, okay, let's review our board here. We've got a Monster Negate. We've got 2 Spell and Trap pops. We've got Claudius, who's going to summon out another Dominataneous. And again, if you're worried your opponent has a lot of monsters effects that could be damaging, you might want to go with the War Chariot or the Gladiator Beast Charge. Really, it just kind of, it depends on which one, you know, you think you need. But you set one, and then you go to your opponent's turn. you let one monster effect resolve, and then you get out your second copy of Dominatanius. You now have 2 monster negates, 2 spell and trap negates, and then 1, 2, 3 board pops. So this is a 75% chance to open that hand. The first one was 62, and the last one I'm going to show you is